here at NUTV, we wanted to share with you a video that was made as part of a competition that was created by a group of nursing students and the SU Wellness Center. This competition encouraged students to make a video that talked about stress and how they dealt with their stress. And up next, we're very pleased to present the winning video.
It all starts with a piece of paper. You're accepted, and it's time to move forward from your carefree summer and get prepared for school. Remember, it's for your future, so you have to focus and be the best you can be. Thanks to student debt, lots of us are stuck trying to find out if we can use the 5th edition of a textbook instead of the 6th. It's even more daunting when you open them up and realize that the weight is comprised of 600 pages of tissue-thin paper that you're going to have to daintily flip through as to maintain the highest possible resale value. But our lives are more complicated than just textbooks. We've got a personal life to maintain. Maybe you've just included someone new in it. It's become apparent that your table is filling up faster than you'd expected, and with the growing additions, it's getting harder to organize everything. But don't think too hard on it because you have work to get to. Those 35-hour weeks are really taking time away from studying. But a lot of us have rent, medical, and food to buy, when you have time to eat, of course. All of these stressors are so hard to manage alone, but you don't have time anymore to ask for help from friends, family, or even your significant other. The isolation of trying to handle all of these commitments can make you feel really trapped. You've got so much going on around you that at some point it becomes overwhelming. You can't remember anything anymore, and the lack of motivation to get everything back in order and completed can make the chaos feel even more chaotic. And with no sleep, no food, and an incalculable amount of caffeine in your system, it's just a recipe for disaster. I was diagnosed in my 4th year of university with anxiety and depression, and had to spend a lot of time in the hospital recovering from the amount of strain I'd put on my body and my mind. While I was there, I met a nurse named Ahmed who took me through my recovery plan and taught me great ways to manage the stress of school and the values of all the things I'd been cutting out of my daily routine. When I was able to return to class, I took time to sign up for counseling to further help manage my stress, and I found out that there were weekly yoga sessions in the empty space, so I started going to those. And at Ahmed's insistence, I set aside time every day to relax my mind. I found that the healthier I felt, the more work I was able to do, and the enormous pile of papers became smaller and more organized with every passing week. It gave me time to see my friends again after months of isolation, and I found out they had been going through the exact same thing as me. The more open we were about it, the more connected we felt, and the more it felt like we were getting a handle on our lives. Being the best you can be requires a balanced lifestyle, so you're able to perform at 100% every day. It's so important to eat something substantial and get that 6 to 8 hours of sleep every night. If nothing else, drink more water. If you ever feel like the weight of everything is crushing down on you, I just want you to know that there are services available that can help you get back on track. Even talking to a friend about what's making you stressed can help. We're all in the same boat, and what better way to express that than a piece of paper?
Right, so we're joined here tonight with Emma Brockelbank. She's a U of C student as well as an NUTV member. Thanks for making that video, Emma.
Well, thanks for watching. It was a pleasure to make.
Yeah, and it sounds like that was a very personal story that you shared in your video. Would you mind going a little bit deeper into that?
Yeah, I made the video based on my own personal experiences. I recently was diagnosed with personality disorders, not so much anxiety, depression, but I thought they would be more easily picked up by the public if they knew what they were. But I personally go through quite a bit of mental distress, and I know what it feels like to always need to be self-aware on that sort of topic, so I thought I would make a video and incorporate that.
Okay, so definitely right now is a stressful time on campus, and there's a lot of students perhaps that are dealing with a lot of mental stress that they maybe haven't had experience with, and you have quite a bit of personal experience dealing with mental distress. Maybe you could share some advice from your own personal experience for students. Maybe 3 pieces of advice?
Yeah, sure. You know, whether it's an outside source that's giving you stress or giving you heartache, or something deeply personal to you, I think a big thing about it is just to be very aware of what's going on. Don't try and deny what's happening to you, and know that it is normal. Everyone does go through it. You're not alone, as I said in the video. and that you should know that there's services available. I did this video because I really took advantage of the wellness center on the campus, and take time out of your really busy day to access those things, because our stress tends to be exponential. You feel more of it as more of it piles on, and it gets really overwhelming. And if you can find a way to deal with it early on, it's going to feel so much better to you, and you're going to be happier for it.
Yeah, so that's really great advice from someone with some experience. What I mean, the piece of that that's really pulling out to me is that idea of carving out that time, and even when you're feeling like so much is going on in your life and so much is piling up on you that you don't have time to take care of yourself, then yeah, perhaps that's the time when you really do need to take care of yourself.
It's so important to really, as much as you can think, I have 10 things on my plate right now, I don't have time to ask someone for help. Just being able to tell someone I'm stressed, communicating with someone that's close to you, or a counselor, a psychiatrist, psychologist, you know, they're all out there and they're able to help you organize those 10 things so that you can see them in a realistic light, so that you don't make poor decisions, you know, in your regular life. You don't do things that you'll regret.
Yeah. And I think that sometimes there's a stigma to reaching out and asking for help, and maybe you felt some sort of a stigma yourself. Maybe those students that are too afraid to ask for help, perhaps they're feeling quite distressed due to the events, or they're feeling stressed during exams, or thinking about their future. Maybe what could you say to a student that's thinking, geez, I just can't admit that I have these strong feelings of depression and anxiety?
You know, there really is a stigma still. And I can't tell you how many times someone has said to me, it's all in your head and you need to get over this. But regardless if it's a small or a big thing, it's still pain. Like, pain is pain. You stub your toe, that's pain. You know, lose a hand, that's pain too. And it should all be dealt with, you know, in a caring fashion. So I know that it can be very scary to reach out and say that you're feeling those things, but you need to do it. And you need to keep trying to help yourself, keep trying to find people who can help you, because, you know, I care about you, and you should care about you too. We all love you being around here.
Great, we all love you. Very sage advice from Emma. Thank you so much for sharing your story, Emma, and for coming here today to spend some time with us.
Pleasure.